Hi soulmates, welcome to my channel. My name is Ruby. So for today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to make this beautiful bubu gown. If this is what you're interested in learning, please keep on watching. And if this is your first time of coming across my channel, here I post sewing tutorials twice a week. Please do well to like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment on where you want clarifications. So this is the fabric I'm going to be using for this tutorial. So what you're supposed to do is just to fold the Ankara fabric into two. Then using this side as my starting point, I marked 10 inches, which is my bust line. Now your bust line can be lesser than this. You just do your bust measurement divided by 6 plus 1.5 and you get your own bust line. So the second line I drew here is my her waist measurement, because this dress is not for me, it's for a client. Then I kept my tape rule at that my waist measurement and I came down by 10 inches. That 10 inches is my hip line. Now your hip line can be lesser than that also. Your hip line can be 9 or 8. So this dress is for a very big person. That's why it's 10 inches. So the next thing I did is my shoulder measurement divided by 2. That's what I'm marking there, which is 9 inches. So I marked that 9 inches at my starting line and at my bust line, and I'm just drawing a straight line to connect it. So for the neck, I'll be using 4.5 inches for the width, and for the length I'll be using 4 inches. Then I'll just connect them together like this. So after that, we're just going to insert our bust circumference. Your bust circumference divided by 4, and you add 2 inches for ease and for allowance. Then you draw your armhole curve just the way you see me do. Then we draw our shoulder slope. Our shoulder slope, I'll be using 1 inches for her own shoulder slope. Then I will just connect it like this. The next thing is to measure is to mark her waist measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance. Then I just connected the bust line and the waistline together. Then as for the hips, I'm still going to do the same thing. Her hip measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance. I did that and I'm connecting everything together. Then right now I'm just trying to get her full length. So I'll be placing my tape rule at the starting point of my Ankara fabric to the length of her dress. That's the length I want the dress to be. So the next thing we're going to do is just to cut. So we're done with the front pattern. The next thing we're to do is to cut our back pattern. So the back pattern is very simple. I'm just going to be placing my front pattern on an already folded Ankara fabric, and I'll be leaving 1 inches for my zip allowance, just the way you see me do. I'm not placing it exactly. I'm leaving 1 inches for my zip allowance. So here I'm just making sure that is that 1 inches I want to leave for my zip allowance that is there. So the next thing I did was to measure 2 inches for my neck depth for the back. The neck width for the front and the back is the same thing. So the only thing I did is just to measure my neck depth, and right now I'm cutting it out. Then also the next thing you have to do when you're drawing your armhole curve, you have to leave half inches. Don't cut exactly like the front pattern. So like you see, I left half inches and I'm cutting. I didn't cut exactly. Please take note. So other things will be the same thing. Just cut exactly for the hip, the waist and the bust line. Exactly. Then right now I'm opening the zip allowance I left, and this is just it. So now for the main design. So now I'll be using my chalk to just draw out the pattern like you see on your screen. I'll be using my chalk to just draw the pattern. So I'm going to advise you to just look at the picture and know what you're doing before you draw. You get, just try and get, I don't know, I can't give you a specific measurement to use in getting this. So I would just advise you to just let your artistic skill play out in this instance. So right now I'm just trying to do, so on the main picture, that for the picture we're trying to copy, they left, they gave 6 lines, 6 lines. So I'm trying to mark my own 6 lines that I'll be placing my bias with. So I'll be leaving 6 lines as I'm just trying to draw with my chalk. So here I have just 5. I'll be adding more 1. So this is how I'm going to be placing it. I'll be using this bias to cover this chalk so that it will not show. So right now I'm on my machine. I'm just trying to place the bias and I am going to sew. Please make sure your sewing is extremely neat here, because you know it's going to be visible. So just make sure your sewing is as neat as possible. So if you're still watching up to this moment, please, I beg you, subscribe to the channel. This channel is just a growing one. I would like to grow it fast. Please subscribe and like. Please like so that others can see this content, and please you can also share. Thank you. So right now I'm now placing the second bias. This is how I'm just going to be doing it. I'll be doing it now. These lines I just drew is that's for one part. If you can see on the picture, I gave like the picture, there's like 3 patterns on it, 3 straight patterns on it. So this is just like the first one. I'm still going to show you how to get the remaining 2. So after I was done with this one, I headed over to my table to draw the next pattern, and this is what I'm just doing. So when you are placing your bias tape, make sure the gap between the two bias tape is not much. It should not be, in fact it should be very very tiny. So just take note of that. So right now I'm just trying to draw the 6 lines. Like I told you, each pattern has 6 lines. So now I'm doing for the third one. I'm done for the second one. Now is the third line. That's the third pattern, and I'm still going to draw 6 lines. So I'm just trying to show you guys the line that I drew. So I'm just going to head over to my sewing machine to place my bias on it. So now I'm placing my bias, and right now I'm not starting from the beginning. I left like half inches before I started sewing. I'm going to show you guys why I left that half inches. So when you finish sewing now, you're still going to leave half inches. Don't cut exactly, leave half inches. So remember, you're going to be sewing six of this. Place it in such a way the gaps will not be much. So right now, those half inches I left, I'm just going to open one line of this, the other bias lines I have already sewn on. So I'm just going to open them, then I'm going to insert all this inside so that the finishing is going to be very neat. So right now I'm just trimming because I saw it was a little bit too long, so I'll just trim, then I'll just put it inside and then cover it up. So I'm just going to now sew. So this is what you're going to do for the downside. Just put it inside and sew, and you're good to go. So right now I'm just removing any excess thread on my bias, just trying to get a neat finishing. So this is it. I went ahead to join both my back piece and my front piece, and right now I'm just trying to place my stones on top of the bias lines. So I'm using my soldering iron to just place the stones. The hotness on this soldering iron dealt with my hand, but I just had to do it. So this process took, let's say, 2 hours. Yes, I used 2 hours just to place the stones. Now I am halfway done, and I'm still placing my stones. So I'm going to show you guys how this dress looked on my clients. I'm going to show you the finished look, everything. So like I said, I'm still placing my stones. Like I said, this stuff took 2 hours. So the next thing I'm going to do is to attach my sleeves. Now this is my sleeve, just a trumpet sleeve, and here is the finished look of the dress when I finished stoning it. So this is it. Look at how beautiful it came out. So thank you for watching up to this moment. Thank you so much for watching. I have so many other tutorial on this channel. Please do well to check them out. So the next slide you're going to be seeing is on how the dress looked on my client. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.